Welcome back, ladies and gents. This is, of course, the ECS Season 6 Finals, and we are in the semi-finals here. North and MIBR, they've taken us all the way to a third and final map to decide who will be in those grand finals tomorrow. And, of course, we move into Dust 2.
Power stance.
It's such a great map, James. Is it just you trying to frame yourself better because you are so tall?
You've got to lumber up. It's going to be Dust 2. It's going to be a massive map of Counter-Strike, AWPs, headshots. It's going to be nasty, man. It's going to be nasty. Fallen's got the lay of the land. So many long ranges. It's going to be disgusting.
Yes. It's actually, I was talking to Yanko. He didn't seem to be all that too stoked for them to have to play and show a Dust 2 because he's expecting that might come up later on in the tournament as well. So there's definitely some work that MIBR have been doing on this map, and it has been known to be one of their lesser good maps, let's say, in their pool. Obviously not quite as strong as a Train, for example. So this could be a really even matchup. I'm excited to see what North have to offer as well, though.
It's going to be good. Yeah, let's see if North can take them to the limit and force them to throw everything out the kitchen sink, do everything that they need to do to take this over the line. North with a surprising, just the fashion in which they won as well, I think is surprising, especially after we saw Train. We thought, oh, maybe this is going to be a blowout, I don't know, but hell no, they've got ideas of their own. You can see Cadian very confident. A knife kill to finish off the previous map, standing up, his arms out. He's ready to go, he's confident, man. And let's not forget his story. Coming back into the Danish scene after going to America. And now here he is in mid. AZ charging up while Cadian holds the angle. So AZ will slow down for now. Smoke on the Xbox, and MIBR can make their way towards short.
Yeah, he starts things off quite nicely there for North on the CT side. Taking down one towards the short position as coldzera will lead the way up catwalk. And it looks like MIBR might keep things simple. Again, let's just note how much utility they have in this round. It's something they've been focusing on a lot more than they previously have, as they've needed to solve these pistols. They're not winning nearly enough here historically, and there's a smoke to help them get a little bit closer to the bomb site. The flashes will be coming in as well. There's a Molotov from coldzera that can be deployed, and it will be deployed. Here goes Valdir behind the car position, buying time for Gade. The distraction's working out. Can he find one more from this position? A 4 versus 2 North are all over this one.
All this utility to get position, but they don't get many headshots, just the one. Really trying to execute their way to a pistol round, but there are no helmets in pistol rounds. And if you get shot in the face, you're dead. Especially if it's a USP. So ultimately, that's what it will come down to for North. They have the positions, they avoid the flashbangs and so on, or eat them and hide. But here they are. Stewie 2K will be picking up a scout for MIBR. The rest of the team on pistols. Anti-force buy territory for North. They will start with 3 players towards that long position, deploying the odd grenade here and there. A late HE from Valdir, they can smoke it off and then rotate the other players elsewhere. We can already see Cadian around the car position with a scout. And again, a sniper on the A site, not just the sniping, which is important, but also the utility usage. He's got 2 flashes, so if there's a late push towards long, which looks likely, we can probably see him flashing behind Valdir, so Valdir can peek.
Yeah, team play definitely on point. MIBR looking to go for the quick pop flash, and there they go with the burst. Cadian will start to try to get himself in there with that scout, but the smoke will cut him off there. Down to Valdir. He'll get shot straight in the face. Cadian has to back away, perhaps a boost onto elevator, but no, goes straight towards middle, in fact, as MIBR do have control of long, but they're not going to make their way up onto the bomb site straight away. Stewie's going to get a nice tag onto Cadian as he makes his way across, and the push is coming as well into T spawn. So MIBR, if they don't go quickly, they may be in trouble.
But so might North. With the smokes MIBR have, they can cross to the site. They could try to push short. Close range is advantageous for them. I think, well, we'll focus on the long exchange later on because they are crossing to the site now. Fallen taking plenty of damage. You can see MIBR don't make everybody cross. One person's watching the smoke, and they still have control of long. They could try to push towards short, but Kiabi's there. Gade in that long position with the SMG, but he'll have to come in a bit later on, as the numbers are towards short and pit, and indeed he's going to rotate instead, show some presence with the flashbang and keep MIBR entertained, but they need to come in from that short position and CT spawn. They've got a smoke and a defuse kit to try and defuse the bomb, but they've got to find a frag first. Stewie tagging, coldzera fragging, and they are falling to pieces, North. Only Gade remains now. With that SMG, that MP further on the way, picking up a weapon. The MP5 will get some bonus money for Gabe, but that's all he takes away from this round, really. That's a disaster for North. And I honestly think, I wanted to say it earlier, but we didn't have time. When I spoke about the flashbang support from the sniper for the player who's on long, Cadian started rotating first. I really feel like he had to throw an earlier flashbang because look at first position when that flashbang comes in. They're on top of Valde, so the flash has a lot less power than it might have had. He goes for the shot first. If he went for the flash first, then who knows, maybe it happens the same way, but I think Valde stands a better chance.
Interestingly as well, they played really passive. Oh, hello, Fallen. Pot shot through the smoke, expecting the push there into lower dark, and that's basically everyone dead. Just Gade remaining with that rifle and Cadian with the P250, but yeah, it was interesting because Cadian it looked like he was rotating to B in that last round as soon as they lost long, which is quite an unusual rotation, and maybe that was a hard read with MIBR maybe doubling back straight towards B, but Gade's going to find the bomb actually. Oh my goodness, has he got a chance here? 2 quick kills from Gade as he somehow escapes, and he's barely touched, down to 73 points of health. A 1 versus 3 now. Gade can absolutely make this work. He has the skill to do it. Finds another one. You've got to be so careful. Don't give him 1v1s as they look to push him, and he goes through the smoke. This is so tricksy here from Gade, trying to see what he can do here. One more frag, but he has to go for the reload, and he can't get it done. But what a valiant effort from him.
You could see on the camera, he felt like he was good for that one. The smoke on short actually gave him a wall to face the player in the lower tunnel, where he got seen going into the smoke as he passed the player on that short position, but great timing from Fallen. Talk about shots through smokes. 2-1 for MIBR. I'd love to hear some opinions on that long situation, but now North are on pistols. Gade will have a Desert Eagle, spending 900 with a flash as well. North have huddled together around these double doors. A simple flash, a Molotov. What is the intention with that flashbang? Is Gade going for a flash over double doors while they push? It seems that is it. They're charging straight into the moneymaker on Stewie 2K. That is $2,400. Cheers. Tar very much.
That's not bad, is it? Style points at the end as well. 1 bullet in the MAC-10 to finish off the last player. Bomb goes down. Cadian not long for this world. Sitting on the B-bomb side. Stewie wants the ace. And why not? He has a MAC-10. Just go for it. He's already made so much money. Have some fun. Quick Molotov sent out there as he tries to find Cadian, just with a lowly USP. It's doable here for Cadian, as Stewie is 1 shot from death, but there's the ace. We all love an eco ace, especially with a MAC-10.
Very nice work. So that's a clean 3,000. Pass me the bills. Fat stacks for Stewie. Really nice. That's satisfying. North have no AWP in this round. They've got 5 M4s, excuse me, and some grenades. Not the perfect grenades. It may be harder for them to hold long, which is maybe why they've got 4 players to deal with the long situation instead of 3, which is more common. Grenades over the walls. Fallen forced off the angle, so long has been secured. As you can see, there are 4 smoke grenades. That's pretty much it for North at this point. MIBR can dry them out and turn them into beef jerky.
Is he looking to see what he can find at a small gap in the double doors? You can sometimes find players moving out from lower dark towards the Xbox to jump up to short. Yes, he'll make his way across. It's very scary here. The MIBR side can take Catwalk pretty damn easily, and there's not too much that North can do about that. And it's so strong because you can threaten the A split and then quickly drop down into a B split once you've pulled rotation towards A. And the rotations on this map are absolutely brutal for the CT sometimes, where you can get a 5v2 on a B-bomb site in a splits attack, and that is just devastating for any CT side. But we'll see what MIBR try to do. They are threatening towards A. Looks like they might actually just walk into this. Kirby's going close. How much can he get?
2 players down into CT spawn, but Kirby's playing the long con, letting them pass in the smoke as he looks to emerge behind them. No one's going to be checking for this. There's Cold Zero spotted with the bomb. The transfer won't work. Fallen with a very swift trade frag. KD now in CT spawn behind the smoke as MIBR look to keep hold of the short position. Maybe not seeing the extremities of the smoke. Kaden goes down for free. Tarek traded in the meantime. 3 versus 3. We've got Valde in the pit, but it seems that North will still give up on this one.
Yeah, that's pretty tough, isn't it? That burst from MIBR was a really good call. You can see that North didn't really have too much to stop it or deal with it. And once those smokes go down on CT spawn, it's just too much time has been wasted there by MIBR, and North just don't have anything to work with positionally. I mean, this is one of the reasons why having an AWP is so critical, because it can be very difficult to trade against an AWP. So when you have an attack coming into the A-bomb site and you have an AWP playing the ramp, if there's no Molotov to push him out of position, he can buy enough time for his teammates to come in, rotate, and actually have some form of a retake possible, as opposed to that, where one kill, bomb site is taken, the bomb is planted, and then the round is lost.
$50,000? No, not dollars, FACEIT points just delivered. Whoops. Flashbang towards that long position. One player's past the angle already, and Cadian takes one in the chest. Early advantages for MIBR for playing the spawn of the AWP, then giving it back to Fallen. He looks for some aggression through mid. You never quite know. Nobody's spotting it, but if there was a cap push, you wouldn't see it from T-spawn either. Valde has taken out Tarek, so Long is still in control of North. That's really important for the rest of this round. Minute 30 on the clock for MIBR to find their next frag.
Kirby here, this is very difficult because the AWP is going to be better than the rifle in that peak, and Fallen will prove just as to why. A 3 versus 4 now. Again, another situation where North could even be thinking, okay, unless we can get a kill here, the bomb site's lost, that might just be it. Try to go for a save, but you can see the drop down into CT spawn as they will come out double doors as well, looking to go for B, and Valde has found a really nice angle onto Fallen. That's the bomb as well. But there's still much more to be done. Gade is in a horrible spot. Oh my God. What a flick from Stewie. That's fantastic. And that is dominant as well. It'll be 5 rounds to the 1 now for MIBR.
Yeah, this is looking pretty tough. Oh, Valde's got a slight upgrade. This will be a long round, unless he chooses to go for it. The bomb hasn't been planted just yet. But I feel like he might be choosing his best hiding place. Bomb has been planted now. Almost seeing Stewie. Well, a 1 versus 2. Still got 6 HP though. So I guess he will reset the situation and head elsewhere, far away from these MIBR players. This is a very strong start for MIBR score-wise, but the feeling of this to me is that they are very much in control, and I feel like North may be on the back foot just like they were on Train.
Yeah, indeed. It's difficult. You know, we're not seeing any AWPs yet. That's already an issue. And you know, secondly, what we're also seeing a struggle with for North is dealing with long. Every time MIBR want to take long, they just don't have any issue. You know, like you said in that round previous, where the flashbangs didn't quite come in from Cadian in time, that was another really easy long take that just gave such an advantage to MIBR to just play out, and then they just didn't seem to drop the ball from that point forward. So that is nice from Stewie. So we need to see an adjustment on long. We need to see more AWPs from North. But we'll see exactly what they have in this round. Very little, because they are having to go for a save.
Just a pistol for North. Just a pistol. They wait to fall by in next round. I do wonder if they'll have more than one AWP, but even then, I just think stylistically, I don't know if there is an answer to the likes of Fallen on this map between these two teams. And this is just a T side. He's going into the angles here. Just wait till he moves to CT. MIBR, this is a money-making round for them. 5,000 to 6,000 in cash. Cadian with a bait for information, running for his dear life, but that's not quite going to work out. Question is, though, for MIBR, what is the makeup of the rest of North? Is it a stack towards the A site? Is that why he's jumping and picking for information? What are we running into? No need to do anything too fast just yet. Minutes on the clock. Big numbers for MIBR, slowly poking and prodding up long.
Yeah, not too much to accomplish here, it would seem. It's one of the hardest maps, I think, to play a CT half buy or force buy or like just eco in general. So many open spaces, it's just so favorable for the rifles, so hard to be untradeable. Unless you have an AWP, of course. 6-1 now for MIBR as they look very, very comfortable here. So Yanko's very happy. That's a very fast clap.
It's a very aggressive clap, yeah. Yanko. What are you doing there?
That was awesome. That should be a GIF right there. Do you say GIF or GIF, James?
I say GIF because I'm not a pleb.
Oh, really?
Cadian, surely this means a second AWP because he's got about 7k and AZ's picked one up. A timeout from North. Where do they stick these AWPs? There it comes out. Where do they stick these sniper rifles? What do they expect of MIBR? How do they eliminate Fallen? He's only got 4 kills at the moment, but Fallen, but they have been big impact kills. Again, a good average for MIBR in general. It's still early in this game of Dust 2, but MIBR have had the spoils. Again, a 4-man investment towards the A-long position. And if they can hear those distant grenades, they may have an inkling that B is pretty weak at the moment. 4 for MIBR. Once again, we have that early scope from Fallen as per usual. A's not willing to hold the angle though. He's got 2 jobs to do with the mid position as well. Abandoning the B bomb site with a smoke grenade, and this might just be the round right here.
Oh my god, so many nades. There's no way to peek for AZ, no way to thin the numbers unless he gets a weird shot through the smoke or through the door. And you're right, James, like the economy, they got 2 orbs and full nades. Is this worth it? I really don't think it is, and thank God they feel the same way. They're going to back off. Losing that. What a call, though, from MIBR. Just to walk out into the B bomb site. That is just genius right there from them. And it's not very often you'll see a situation where like a 5v5 where there's a save called.
Yeah, but that's a great realization from North. Let's just start again next round with everything that we have in this round. No need to decimate ourselves. They took some gambles. They didn't pay off. So be it. There's your rounds. But we're coming for you in the next one. And again, even if North win 1 round, just look how much money MIBR have. They've got buys for days, nothing but max pressure, round after round after round.
Okay, North, it's time to get those orbs firing off. Stewie's got the orb there for MIBR. I wonder what's his spawn like. Stewie is got the closest spawn to long, so he's going to be going for the long pick. You can see that they've been doing that in a spawn-based way. Of course, that's what makes the most sense. Quick flash there from Fallen to make his life slightly easier. Here goes Stewie. Stewie is an incredible AWP player. He's got quite a pace, and his aggressive AWP style is amazing to watch.
He won the major with an AWP, basically.
Yeah.
Not done yet. Flashes towards long, but Valde has that early information having gone through the doors. MIBR starting slow. Looking for a reaction from North. Again, North not shy to be aggressive, so you have to respect the possibility of this. AZ forced from his angle with a flashbang. Smoke on the Xbox, and MIBR will slowly and quietly make their way up towards A. Again, they don't have position on long, but Tariq is headed outside the doors for now. They've got a great many people on short. Will there be a pop flash? No, Cold Zero doesn't have any flashes, neither does Tariq. In fact, only Fur has the 1 flash on MIBR at this point. That might be something for North, but Cadian towards A will need to hit his shots. Now, there's a big shadow advantage for Valde. The crouch peek from Tariq, though, that's unbelievable.
Cadian coming in, though, to try to save the situation. Control the flow of players. That's a big shot, but does he look for the next one? There's another player to peek. I don't think Cadian has any idea. Cold Zero's got a free one on his hands, and he's going to take it every day of the week. 2 versus 4 now as Fallen picks up another kill, and it doesn't seem like North have any way to respond at all. They don't seem to be even present on Dust 2 right now, James.
I can't believe Tariq won that peek. Such a warning with that shadow, the crouch peek there, that's unbelievable. And that's got to be really frustrating as well, to be on the receiving end of. It's a nice clean-up from Gade, but again, we're heading towards 8-1. MIBR don't really care too much about the money they just lost right now. They are so dominant, so in charge, round after round after round, but again, just like, that's got to be demoralizing, to have somebody crouch peek you when you knew for almost 2 seconds that he was going to walk through those doors.
Yeah, and it's kind of a shame in many senses as well, because again, we know the quality that's on North individually. I mean, Gade just showed like 2 super clean shots, like he is a monster. And the problem is they're just not getting in a position to be able to play from that's going to allow them to be competitive in these rounds. And that is because MIBR have been calling really well. They've been, obviously this situation's kind of ridiculous as you mentioned, but they've been calling really well. They've been hitting their shots, and at North, they're struggling to take the initiative on the CT side of Dust 2. That can be a problem on this map. But now that they have the double orbs out again, they really need to make this count. And here goes a quick short push. Fallen is waiting for it though. I can't believe it, he's waiting for it. They're just a step ahead every single turn.
We have seen a number of comebacks from North in this tournament so far, but I don't know how likely this is looking, especially on this half. There are so many rounds to go as well, but they're so far away from winning any of them that we could be looking at 12-3 or worse in favor of MIBR.
Yeah, it's MIBR just showing such confidence in the peaks here, hitting their shots, and on Dust 2 that can be devastating. That said, Dust 2 can be quite T-sided at the best of times, so it is still very possible for North to bring this one back in the second half. That they need something to work with, just at least 3, 4, 5 rounds, something in that region would be enough. But they aren't looking all that likely at the moment, and they are running out of chances. You can see that they are holding on to the 2 orbs at the moment, and Gate is just sitting in the middle with the AK-47 to see what he can do, but they are already in safe territory. MIBR are dismantling them and just getting these early picks time and again.
Yeah, the problem is North they've been winning rounds of aggression match after match, but they are at the complete mercy of MIBR. They're walking to the altar and getting smashed over the head with the goblet. Very meticulous from MIBR. Throw. Don't need any of that. Bomb goes down, and this, just how drawn out this round is, North will feel like they lost this round a minute ago. And this just can't help either. This has got to be like a depressing feeling.
You're right, it is really weird because in like the first 15 seconds, the round was effectively over. North already were thinking, okay, we're basically saving now, and Bomb only just went down. It's very, very odd. You don't often see it going like this. Gideon's still trying to save, and you can see that the MIBR players are hunting. They got so much money, and Gade's in a forward position to try to help keep his AWPers secure, and he's going to take down one. He suspects, I think he heard it, he knows that Coldzera is coming. Gade is so strong with the rifle, picks up another kill. Cold can't take him down. Looks like he should survive, maybe.
Strong with the rifle, but they've only won with pistols. Coldzera and co are losing money by winning rounds at this point, starting with $16,000 in this round. 9-1, only the pistol round won by North. That's it. They take a timeout now. How do we get an advantage versus MIBR? We can take long, but it doesn't really give us too much advantage. Now, we haven't really seen them go hyper-aggressive towards short cat pushes and so on. I don't believe I've seen that just yet.
They did it once, and Fallen was waiting for them and just annihilated them.
Oh, of course, yes, he was.
Yeah,
he was near Xbox. Okay, so what else can they do? 2 men walking through B, maybe?
You kind of need a slower round, I feel like, to make that work as well, though. You can't. It's like so risky to do it at an early timing. And I think that's like the problem here. It's like that sunk cost situation where the more rounds you lose, the less able you feel like you need, you have to take risks, because again, if you lose another round, it's even worse now, and it could be a 10-1. It's just a really hard spot to play from, and I think they can't seem to hold on to long ever. Oh, okay.
Oh dear.
Not good. Again, losing someone early. Story continues here for North.
Now what? How do you respond to this? Gade has mostly been fragging while saving around those doors, but that could be an important one. Grenades towards Fur's position, doing next to no damage. Valde will be left very alone for now. You see the aggression towards that short area. Cadian scoped in already, so they won't hear this. Fallen taken out. Good timing for Cadian. So they have a man advantage, and with that he will fall back. But still, they wait for MIBR to make their plays.
And right now, North being 4 versus 3, they're actually splitting 2 to a bomb site. So there's a pretty hefty rotation time, and Valde's in a 1v2. If there's a good flashbang here, that might be enough. There's no support for Valde, really. Does pick up the first kill. That's it now. He's done enough. I think he's got warning. There's the bomb and the kill. The round should be in the bag now. Just Tarek in a 1 versus 4. It's not something that North, I don't think, would throw away.
Oh, this is Dust 2. There are long ranges. They don't know where he is just yet. So there's a fair chance of 1v1. And then who knows, if he takes an engagement here, he's got to make his way towards long to collect the bomb. But Cadian won't allow that. So finally, we have a second round for North. Now the question is, can they emulate this success in the rounds to come in this half?
Now, we've casted a lot of Counter-Strike, James, and there has been many times where we've seen a half go like this, where it's just really dominant from one team. You feel like it's going to be a 16-0 or something like that, and then all of a sudden the other team's able to flip a switch and just turn the tables and get a dominant string of rounds themselves. North really need that, and they could still get a 6-9, which would actually be a pretty good shout, all things considered. You can see Yanko, he's keeping up the intensity there for MIBR, knowing that that's true as well. You can never let your foot off the gas, especially in the semifinals of a tournament like this. So we can expect MIBR to perhaps do something a bit funky here.
I love that the crowd claps when Yanko claps.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. It's like the applause man on the side of a TV show. All right, we've got 2 sniper rifles for North, trying to get a 3rd round on the board. Again, 6 possible. Probable, probably not, but possible. There is still hope, essentially, for North to get something out of this half. MIBR slowly crab walking towards that long door position. Fallen was in line for a pop flash. Fer could maybe look through the gap in the door a little. Here come the flashes, a smoke on the corner. A take of Long with 4 players from MIBR. We've got Stewie in a position to cut off rotation, but now Long has been compromised. North has to focus on the short position. They've got 3 players on A. They have to control short. They understand it. Everybody knows that. MIBR will expect that as well.
Yeah, I think they just dropped a smoke on Cat as well, just as that corner smoke, long smoke came from the tees. Oh, that's a close one. You don't want to get picked here. That's what Fallen's looking for. If you can get a pick, you can start the push. And at a certain point, there will not be time for MIBR to double back out of the long position. So it looks like they're committing here. Fallen creeping his way forwards. This is very difficult for North. They have to have really good timing on their nades as well. And in comes a flashbang from the T side as they get even closer. This round needs to go the way of North. Cadian will be smoked off, and there's so many bits of utility thrown in by MIBR. This will get very difficult. This is not the easiest of shots for Cadian to try to hit. He's over by Gandalf as well. So there goes a Molotov. Such beautiful stuff from MIBR to make this one work.
Oh, he finally gets a kill, but just a second too late. The flank coming in from Stewie 2K. He gets a 2K on shot, and that's got to be the wipeout. It's left down to Gade, and they get eliminated. Everybody down for North. 10-2 for MIBR. The truck continues to roll. MIBR driving the 18-wheeler. Steamrolling North. They have a bye, though, North, following that 1 successful round of late. The M4s, the AWP, good utility, so on and so forth. But again, it's the same question. How do they get an edge? How do they capitalize on that? How do they find something to exploit from MIBR?
That lurk timing from Stewie was so good. And I loved the nades from MIBR, but I've got to hold that fort right now. This is the push you were talking about, James. The upper dark push coming from the CT. Stewie there on the extremity, watching for such a play. He's got a good angle for this, but the AWP, will it be flicking there in time? No, Gabe will be the first to go down. Cadian misses a shot, gets it on the second go, and that's very nice. AZ holding down the double doors as MIBR try to make good timing or a good push out of the distraction in dark, but looks like that's will be North's frags instead. A 2 versus 4 now for Fer and Tarek. Tarek can't get it working this time, the crouch peak. Fer's found himself a clean bomb site, but not much he can do with this without the bomb.
Okay, do not try to get that last kill. Stewie actually saw one of the 2 players pushing B between the pillar and the wall, but couldn't get that second frag. Much needed frag from Cadian. A desperate 3rd round has been secured with the 2-man push from B, starting off the proceedings for North. So they get another bye in this run, obviously, but will they get another round? 2 more rounds to fight for. I think the way these rounds have gone, if they finish with 5 in the first half, they have to be pleased with that. They have to, because it could be a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah, it's very true, and the money was just unlimited, it felt like, for MIBR as well. And again, we've seen this before, the walk into the B bomb site. This time, though, Gabe's playing close. He will have support. How many can he get? They'll come in. The spray is good for 2. Gade, how many more? Only the 2. And there's no one else to rotate in because Cadian was lost immediately. But it's a 3v3 retake. Actually doesn't look too bad, but there is a lurk there. Tarek in mid in the 1v1. AZ looks for it. He can't do it, though.
Last 2 plays were rotating from long. Oh, that's a big frag from Valde. I thought, were they saving? But that's such an important kill. Fallen has Kiabi flying into his reticle, and that is the round over, it seems. Valde left in a 1 versus 2. Too much range for Fallen. Can reset the situation as well. MIBR moved to 11. Oh, at least they've got 3 rounds North. They do have some money in the bank, so they will have things to fight with to try to get to number 4. But MIBR, they've got their heart set on that final.
There's actually enough there for an AWP and no Kevlar for Cadian, so that's something. But as you say, the best case now, 4 rounds on this CT side. Again, 4 rounds is workable as they move on to the T side. MIBR, I mean, this T side of Dust 2, this map really just suits them, I think, so well. And the double orbs fallen in Cold is devastating. Cold going straight for it, but the nades will force him back, and North might actually be able to hold on to long for once.
The explosion of a decoy, marking silence across the map. Fallen looking for someone to peek into him, but Cadian's towards the B-bomb site now. Gade with a passive angle looking through to CT spawn. The final round of the first half. MIBR with a take of the short position. They have 2 players towards long, North, and Stewie's being taken out, peeking B. And now Cadian focuses in a mid position. Will there be a late lurk from Tarek towards long? North and Manta are good. Smoke on short. Again, you can set up grenades, Molotovs behind that smoke. Hazy's only got a smoke grenade himself though. Now they start to come up the ramp. He can't see anything because of the smoke on the site. A one tap from Fur, and AZ has to hide, but what can he really do for this situation? No impact from him. Valde with the French gun has players coming in on his 6. That's a big frag from him before the flashbang. Old school tactics, but it might not be enough.
2v2 though, and Gade has found his timing creeping up through the smoke there towards Elevator. He's got a flank in Cadian coming from long as well, but Fallen's on the angle. He's surely getting this in the back of Gade, down to Cadian. A 1 versus 2 with the AWP, and he's, oh no, oh dear, Coldzera is made way too easy. The knife comes out, and there it is. It's fitting, isn't it? Cadian the one to get the knife to finish the last map, and now he will be knifed as a finish to the first half, as MIBR, the domination on the T side of Dust 2 is going to be quite the act for North to try and follow.
Very fitting end to the half from MIBR. Juicy Falchian knife kill. We move to the second half, just a 3 rounds for North. Once again, the pistol becomes essential. They won their first pistol, North, and they didn't win much after that, and now they must win the second. All USPs for MIBR knows CZ057 looking for a rush. AZ just spotting to see anybody pushing mid, and they are pushing mid. Could potentially be in low tunnel as well now. Does that slow down the plans of North moving towards top mid? Coldzera says no, and Tarek will join him for a second frag.
Quick burst towards the long position. Now Stewie's going to spot it out and fall back and try to slow them down so his teammates can get into position in time. Might even be a boost on Elevator for Fallen there as Stewie is waiting, but looks like Fallen will actually jump towards the short boxes before going to Elevator. There he is now, finally boosting up. Stewie found it close with the P250, looking to push forwards. They've got to try to equalize. Somehow the flash goes through to make things even more chaotic here for North as they try to make their way onto this bomb site. This is such a strong headshot position from Stewie though, just darting backwards and forwards, but it's going to be traded out by Tarek eventually as Cadian tries to get his damage in. A quick headshot his way, but it's not happening here for North. MIBR take a pistol, and North are in a horrible position.
Yeah, they're really hyped up, really happy with the situation. A lopsided affair so far on Dust 2, and North are left with little choice. It's forced by territory for them. Cadian pulling out the scout. There'll be no scout for Fallen, SMGs and rifles for the likes of MIBR, and plenty of grenades to boot. Everybody with a smoke grenade for North. Jump throw for one towards the Xbox. Pop flash towards long for MIBR. Closing the distance for the SMGs. North appear to have intentions towards long, but that HE is not going to be very nice for Gade. AZ coming in for support. Fallen facing 3 players, but what can he tell his teammates? Tarek gets taken down quickly as well.
That is not bad, is it? Picking up all kinds of weapons and now having numbers, and they have 3 smokes. That's a brilliant situation. Oh my God, Valde finds a jumping Stewie, and he will take him down. So a very stunning start to the round for North as they go 5 against 2, using the numbers now, having 2 players lurking also. Got Valde in middle, in CT spawn no less. That should deal with 1 player, which means effectively this is a 3v1 on the bomb site, but Fur has an M4. He can do this, James.
Off angle from Fur. Warnings of players coming, gets his bell run. Trying to get the 1v1. Stereo frags for North. and they win the force by a must-win for them, but almost all these rounds are at this point. They're still 9 rounds behind. MIBR so close to the match, so close to 5 seats in tomorrow's final.
Ooh, not bad. Here are those eco frags. Beautiful from Gate. I'm telling you, man, this guy is something else. And I've heard from Valde as well. He's an excellent team player as well. Someone that's very, very calm. He's got no ego at all whatsoever. He'll do anything you ask him to. He'll go in first or whatever you need, playing for the team. But individually, he is quite the monster. And a 5v, well, obviously 5v5, but against the Deagles, it's not going to be too difficult here for North. As long as they can get position, get a bomb down, the Deagle, that should, in of itself should deal with the Deagles. But getting to that bomb plant, that's the trick.
The setup smoke, the Molotov, the second one. Tarek towards Goose, may have not been spotted. coldzera is not going to last very long once he starts to see these assailants. Tarek with an off angle, misses the shot. So far so good for North. Falling around the corner but with a USP. Now, really waiting for the buy rounds, waiting for the AWPs to come out, waiting to see if North can walk into Fallen holding an angle and come out alive. That is the main question here. We've got anti-eco territory for North now, but really, that is what we're waiting for. Not long to wait to find out. And it could be 2 AWPs for MIBR, could be 3.
Oh, not bad from Cadian. Obviously, you might want to save that one for, when they have actual weaponry, but still, it's a good start for North, making things slightly easier against these pistols, and they're going to make their way up towards the long. Just keeping this very simple, and if they are to win this round, which they absolutely should be doing so, that would be 6 to 13. Then it's all of a sudden not looking quite so bad. Their economy is growing as well. And you can see Far and Suyo just trying to be sneaky, see if they can get some money out of the hands of North if they possibly can, make their lives easier. Scary thing is that if MIBR win 1 round, 2 away from winning it, and just in 1 more round they've secured at the very least an overtime. And there's so many rounds to go for North. It's just very precarious. So much pressure added. But we have to say, North, when they played against NRG, were in similar positions more than once, and they managed to grind it back, showing that they had a very good mentality in positions of massive disadvantage and pressure. And there we go. Clean round for North.
7 round deficits. That's what North are facing. Looks a lot better now. They've strung 3 rounds together, but this is where the game really begins. The second half, MIBR defending, but taking the initial angles pretty much wherever they want them. Is Cadian up to the test of Fallen? Well, Stewie2K taken out is a good start. That leaves only third towards the B-bomb site. Meanwhile, North will take A with a number of flashes. They basically did a dry run of this with AZ in the previous run on Eco. Fallen taking Gade out, but it's a 4 versus 3 very early on. And North have got a player on short as well. They're eliminating all these players. There's nowhere to hide for MIBR. This is a fantastic start for North.
Boom, there it is. Beautiful stuff. So fast, so dynamic. Right, I mean, you could see MIBR, that first kill on Stewie already disrupted things, and then the fast pick coming in towards the long position, that had MIBR on 1 leg, wobbling around, and here it is, AZ just bulldozing them.
Race car.
Really nice stuff there, and I love the fast pace on Dust too. It's so fun to watch. Cadian, you wondered if he had 3 for 3 there. He won't this time, but oh, the double nades.
Oh no.
That is not bad. That's a gun to be collected as well. They can pick that up safely behind the door.
All right then, but look at the response from North. Okay, they've invested players towards the long. Let's charge up the short position, use the range, use the flashbangs, eliminate them as quick as possible. coldzera missing the spray, and most of the threat has been taken out. Tarek doesn't have the angles for the scout. He can go towards long. The scout at this point is throwaway because they will be at max loss bonus next round and they could buy AWPs and such. I think. He's got no Kevlar either. Don't need to really take those angles. They've all been tagged now by the scout. And Stewie's making his way towards the site. He doesn't have a kit, but like this could be worse than it needs to. Stewie has little to lose in this round with the Kevlar. makes his way over. It is the worst possible bomb plant as well, but they can make this very expensive now. Cadian holding the angle, and Stewie may just hold on to his Kevlar, so he has a cheaper buy in the round to come.
Found himself the M4 as well. Very good from Stewie, but you can see just quite how momentum-based Dust 2 can be. That T side, you can really dictate the pace, and it's difficult for the CTs because they have to be so reactive. And one of the problems for the CTs as well is, again, that the rotations are very long. And so you can really abuse that when you're playing that T side. So MIBR, they can't take this lead for granted. And of course, the anchor's there to remind them of that. And they're more than experienced enough to know that too. And Fallen, he can buy an AWP, Kevlar, nades. So here we go. There we go. The applause, I like it.
All right, 5 rounds. All of a sudden, this has become a lot more achievable, but can North expect such abrupt success like they had, picking Stewie through the doors, through the smoke, the take off long, the quick take on short? That was pretty much a perfect round for them. And every round isn't going to be like that. So if you're a North fan, I would still have some concern. Pop flash being held towards B in case of a fast play. Now, the bomb is outside B tunnels at the moment. Seems like North maybe wanted a cheapo takeoff long if they could get it to pull players towards A. But there are 3 towards A at present for playing close to B with an off angle near the scaffold towards those, towards that middle doors peak. Minute 20 for North. No one challenging them for the short peak. You can see AZ up here on short. Starting to move away. No one in CT spawn, so they can't hear this rotation, MIBR. This will be a surprise, but it seems coldzera is starting to wonder.
Very quiet all of a sudden. That's a timely resmoke, isn't it? You don't like to see that if you're North, but of course, if you're going to invest like this, you can always go through it. And sometimes that can be surprising for the CT side, can work to your benefit. And look at Cadian go. He's closing the distance on middle now as well. Looking to go for the B split smoke, it would appear. And that will slow down the rotation. There it is. Now that should trigger the push coming in from North into that B bomb site as the smoke in the tunnels will dissipate. coldzera will try to play above the box there. This is so eerily quiet here. Stewie's still holding position. And in they go. Nades first. Stewie, how many can he get? They are lining up, but he gets nothing. That is a huge problem. Fer tries to push the window, but they're surely looking for this. No one's firing at him just yet. He's still got 100 HP. Nades coming in, and they've got to get a bomb down. This pressure is proving very problematic, but it looks like they might be okay.
Just in time. There's no molly to stop this plant for MIBR. They've exhausted the utility, it seems, North, and now it seems that MIBR are going for the save. I was wondering about this setup because after the early stages, there was no presence from North shown towards short, no, towards long. They weren't really trying to take anything, so we did wonder how clear it was that B was likely the intentions of North, but it's so quiet from them. They barge in, they win the duels most importantly, and that gap continues to get smaller and smaller, Dan.
Yeah, I think you're right. No, it's one of those things where even if you have a pretty good read as to what's going on, it can be so risky on Dust 2 to get caught out of position on the CT side that if maybe you feel wrong, you can just lose the round. So you have to rely on your players anchoring the bomb sites to do enough damage to enable a retake to be a possibility in some cases when you're just not sure enough. And that will bring North to 9 rounds. And we saw great success from MIBR when they went for those B plays. And now North are doing a lot of this, similar things to what MIBR were finding success with, but the double ops are coming in again. MIBR are surely going to get around here.
An extra buy thanks to the save of MIBR. A flashbang to allow Valde to peek, but doesn't want to over-challenge, showing some presence, keeping them entertained. In the meantime, North are charging up the short position. Again, they don't have anybody to have the audio cues here, but they do have Fallen with AWP for maybe 1 second because AZ rips his down face-off. coldzera's got to be very, very careful as well. He will pick off AZ. The bomb hasn't fallen to the low ground, and they continue to make their way, planting for short, which they still have possession of. Valde misses the duel, though, with Fer and CT spawn.
Now it's down to the clutch. Gade is alone. 1 versus 4. The bomb is down. This is definitely doable. Throwing the smoke. He's got 2 players coming from CT spawn. He's sandwiched. Surely no way out of this situation. And indeed, he'll be taken out. And it's just so very difficult. What a clutch couple kills coming in from Cold. That was, the pressure on him to hold his ground, to get the kills. You have to do it in certain spots. You can't run away. You've got to thin those numbers. And North finally concede a round. But they have so much money in the bank here. It won't be an issue to rebuy.
Indeed, they will have a full buy after that loss. However, MIBR need 2 rounds to make it to the final. It's that simple, and that's what Janko will be telling the team now. We are 2 rounds away. We are only 2 rounds away from the finals. These are our finals. Those are our seats. Also, I love Brazilian barbecue. I'm going to clap. The crowd are going to clap with me. Wait for it. You probably can't hear it because of the headphones, but it's going to be awesome. That's my translation anyway. I don't know what you think, Dan.
Seems pretty good. Oh, come on.
Where's the clap? Where's the clap? Come on. All right, I'll do it. There we go. Hey, thank you, Janko. The slow roll. All right then, 2 sniper rifles for MIBR continue. North, their margin for error is getting smaller and smaller. And they are looking to have a big investment towards long. 4 players there, but they won't go for the initial rush. So maybe we will see the smoke grenade on the corner, the flashbangs. There is a smoke being lined up, a preemptive Molotov from MIBR, and now they see the intentions because the smoke has already gone. And that's a wrap, a smoke into the molly from MIBR. The timing was perfect for them, absolutely ruined the intentions of North.
I love this as well because North have had so many aggressive rounds towards A. They also have a lurker in Valde in the upper dark position. And again, they've conditioned MIBR to be very fearful of very fast plays towards long or towards short with, trying to fake out long. And Valde can catch a push, an upper dark, if MIBR were to go for that push, if they were to overplay their hand. And speaking of which, surely that should have been a frag.
You've got to land that shot.
Yeah, he's going to be feeling absolutely gutted. And here comes the rotation back to B.
Have a look at the utility for North. They only had 2 smoke grenades left. They couldn't even re-smoke the corner because they couldn't afford it. They wouldn't have the smokes for the cross. Now they've only got 1. We've got the shoulder peeking, and Stewie takes that one for free. MIBR can taste match point now. Smoking off the front of the tunnel. North have been thwarted again. They could lose everything running through this smoke. There are 40 seconds on the clock. They don't really have great control of anything. All they have is the numbers, which they've abused time and time again on their T side so far in this tournament. 3 players outside the B bomb site. Kiabi's got to find the kill. Fallen hiding in the smoke. He escapes to 20 HP. You can't let Fallen live.
And how do you deal with Stewie? He's another huge issue here. He's just sitting there posted up with the AWP. Hits another flick. That's Cadian down. He was the AWP that was supposed to deal with Stewie. And Stewie's got free reign, full vision. And a round for MIBR. They look so comfortable there. And you got to hand it to Stewie. He went aggressive on a very aggressive angle with the AWP. And there was a double peek from Gade. I think Gade saw him as well after the first peek. Here, that's the first shoulder peek. Maybe he didn't, I'm not sure. But Gade, after losing his life there, it was just too easy for Stewie. And there was no forward smoke to really deny Stewie vision. And he's going to have those frags all day.
Match point, MIBR. Ruin the timing of North towards A, ruin the timing of North towards B. Now they must win 6 rounds in a row, North. Again, they've got 4 players towards that A bomb site. But look at the deeper Molotov from Fallen. The flashbang from Long, completely blind, but he will get a frag. 2 more players towards A, but North have done the first job. 4v4, they have Long. Now the question is, what else will they do? Fur and Valde around the smoke, around these double doors. Do North go for a play or a take of the short position? Cold0's got space, that Molotov won't hurt him. Now Tarek could flash for him, but they don't realize how bad their molly was. That's cost them another player and more information for MIBR.
Even Scopes giving an audio cue, but they didn't hear it. Valde! Oh, it's so close! Fur takes him out. That was a huge frag. AZ up on the bomb site there with a defensive Molotov to block off short to enable the plant. He's got to be so careful to push on the smoke. Tarek finds Gade. Now AZ has to go back through the smoke. He's got no AWP now, and that's going to be that. MIBR 16-9 in the best of 3, all 3 maps, but MIBR will be facing Astralis in the grand finals of ECS Season 6 here, live in Texas.
Monster game of Dust 2 from MIBR, building a fantastic lead in the first half, and it was too much to ask for North to come back. Did see some glimpses of hope though, but I think the stronger team won on Dust 2. Great individual performances. Saw some great thwarting of some plays from North towards the end there. That was a really strong game from the Brazilian-American team.
And the most beautiful thing here, I mean, there's so many core points to make. We get that matchup, that rematch between Astralis and MIBR, and obviously MIBR able to beat them in a best of 3 already. We had in Istanbul in the grand finals, a best of 3 that MIBR had. It was super close. They should have closed it out. This is a real true rivalry that we have that is so fun to watch in the grand finals. So that's very exciting. And North as well, I think they are turning into quite a dominant team. They are going to be very worrying for, I think, everyone at the very top level of Counter-Strike in the future tournaments to come.
Yeah, I think they had a very good showing of themselves from the beginning of the season to come all the way to this point, North, and they did look dangerous and threatening, especially in that second map. We thought it might be a whitewash, but they brought it back with force. Dust 2 proved to be too much on this occasion, but it has been a fantastic season for North. But indeed, it will be MIBR to the finals tomorrow, and that is going to be quite an explosive one.
Yeah, I think MIBR, we've seen them slowly but surely gaining strength and gaining strength. Tournament to tournament, they've got world-class players. They've got players who all have made multiple majors under their belts respectively. And it's just been a matter of time until we see MIBR. And everybody knows it until they are maybe a team that can consistently be dealing with Astralis, who up until this point, since the last major, have been unstoppable.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable that we will continue to see more growth from MIBR, and maybe next year people will start to wonder where their ceiling is, but I think that ceiling will be very, very dangerous indeed. And we will be hearing from MIBR now on the stage with Parla.
Thank you so much, James. Everybody in the room, give it up for MIBR! Congratulations, you've reached the grand final. We'll talk a bit about that shortly. First things first, as North started to mount a bit of a comeback on Dust 2, how did you guys adjust?
I think we kind of messed up on the anti-eagle round, and they won the force buy, which kind of hurt us. As you can tell, every round counts. They can just build the rounds back. I think we just made one little mistake, and they capitalized on it, and it was getting kind of scary, but luckily we pulled through.
Going back to train, Gabriel, that was an amazing showing by your team. Why was it such a dominant first map?
Train is a map that we love to play, and especially on this game, I think Kozira did a outstanding job. I did not have quite a good match compared to other trains, but the team was there. The team was doing all the good plays, communicating very well during the rounds, and that's what won us the match.
Cole did have a very good series. Other than him, who in this match was a key factor?
I don't know. I think everyone did their part. They were doing well. It's not always about the scoreline. I think people get key frags all the time that wins the rounds. So I think everyone did a pretty good job today. But on Inferno, we took it a little carelessly. So they broke our economy many times, and it was hard. It was a really hard game to come back from. And luckily, we kept our composure for Dust 2, and we were able to close it out.
Gabriel, what was the preparation for this match? Did you watch North's games from this tournament? Did you and Yanko split certain duties?
Yeah, to be honest, they play a very large map pool, so we're not so sure which map they would pick, which map they would veto, so we kind of had to prepare a little bit on every single map. And we wanted to play Inferno because it's one of our strongest maps. It didn't pay off this time because they played it very well. And we had to watch some of their games, check some tendencies, at least know which roles they play, like which positions they like to stay as CT, and some of their T-strats, but nothing too crazy.
The time that you guys have spent on the same team together has, of course, been very important. At this point, do you feel each tournament you've been to, you've been able to build and get better and better?
Yeah, I think we were able to build for sure, but during my time here and Terry's time, it was kind of rough for us. We couldn't really find the right roles and to get comfortable in them. And the past week, I think Yanko and Fallen did a great job at making the practice more productive and making sure we're comfortable. And I think that's why we're making such good improvements and feeling a lot more comfortable to play, especially on LAN.
Going back to something Stewie just mentioned, Gabriel, can you give us just some general details on the relationship between you and Yanko, how things are being sorted out by you two?
Yanko is the bad cop, I am the good cop. I'm kidding. Yanko normally helps us a lot in terms of criticizing the practices and making sure we see mistakes that happen in the practice so we can fix them before we actually play real matches, and those mistakes can cost us rounds. He's always studying the opponents, making sure we understand how the video is going to be, giving us tendencies like watching some of the strategies they like to do. If they like to throw that smoke, what comes after that. So it's kind of looking forward to see if there's something we can get from their game. And besides that, he's always hyping up the team and being what a coach needs to be. He's a very good coach, and we're proud to have him on the team.
All right, guys, tomorrow it's grand finals time. You'll be going up against the Danish powerhouse, Astralis. Just some thoughts on that matchup.
Yeah, we've been playing them a lot recently, and it's been tough. We've lost 14-16 the past 3 times we played them, besides yesterday or 2 days ago. And I think we kind of found a way to start beating them and build rounds and be more comfortable playing around them. And they are the #1 team. That's why they're so hard to play. But every time we play them, it's really intense and really hype. Every round counts. Every little second counts. And I'm just looking to get revenge for Blast Pro Istanbul.
Gabriel, at one point, you were the leader of the very best team in the world. You had an amazing streak with your full Brazilian lineup. What's it like now to go up in a grand final against the current best team in the world?
Yeah, well, another finals against Astralis, and as Stewie said, the last one, we could have won that. We lost 16-14 on the third map. And our series are always just so intense. Like, even here on the group stage, we ended up the third map 16-14, our favor this time. So it's going to be a very exciting match. Astralis is the best team in the world right now, but we have beaten them so many times in the past, and in the bottom of their hearts, they know they can lose to us, and we're going to try our best to make it happen again.
Amazing words, ladies and gentlemen, from Stewie 2K and Fallen. Thank you so much for your time. We'll see you tomorrow. And of course, to everybody at home, wish these guys luck, and Astralis as well. And now, let's head back to the desk.
That's the plan, Stan. Yes, we do see a grand final locked in for ECS Season 6. Astralis taking to the grand final stage as it's been a bit of a mainstay in Counter-Strike in 2018. They go up against MIBR after a spectacular performance on Dust 2. To see this map for the first time in the tournament as a third map in the second semi-final is just absurd. We have not seen any Dust 2, and now we got a perfect display of butchery and headshotting.
A little bit of payback right there with the knife. I do remember Caitlyn finishing out the second map with a knife as well. So cool to see them going into the Panther. I think MIBR was in charge for the majority of this time. Both teams, you know, winning the pistol, then losing the anti-eco. And MIBR were the team that was able to string the most rounds together. I would say it was not a pretty game by any means. I think it was a rather ugly game, to be fair. There was a lot of saves. There was a lot of, you know, not action happening basically in the rounds because they was just outplaying each other. And I think we saw North save 7 or 8 times on the CT side as well. So wasn't necessarily the most fun game to watch, but it was a brawl of a Counter-Strike game, and MIBR ended up winning, and I think they were the better team today as well.
That's true Danish style, is playing that smart economy game, but the problem is MIBR get them into a position where if you're going to continue to save like that and they just keep racking up rounds, eventually you're going to have to fight for it. And North never made that decision to really like plant their feet and try and fight back into it. And when you switch sides and you're already up 12-3, you can afford to give up rounds. You know exactly how many rounds you need. You know exactly how many rounds they have to catch up, so you can make that call to have the save because you're just in control of all the situations. And that's exactly what MIBR did. There was a nice little attempt at a comeback in the second half from North. You could see them ramping up. They had a very fast-paced style, and I think if they had maybe had 1 or 2 more rounds to get into the swing and the momentum of that kind of a style, it could have gotten dangerous. But good on MIBR for just putting it down before it could even begin.
And I do think as well, something I learned about Dust 2, or something Dust 2 provided for me, was it was just demonstrative. That was a word.
Yeah, it is.
Demonstrative of exactly that Stewie's secondary AWP is still potent. I mean, like we talked about, we talk about, you know, I think it was Days who, not like truly like a year or 2 ago, said, I think Stewie might be one of the best AWPers in North America, and he's not even a main AWPer. Getting good to see him back on that scope, and definitely a string to their bow that we'll see tomorrow.
The nice thing about Stewie being your secondary AWPer is if he's not going to be a primary AWP, you don't have to really like teach him and train him to have like the proper fundamentals to being an AWPer. And in that sense, we saw it even on Cloud9, where if you like saved an AW, if Skadoodle saved his AWP, it's almost like, listen, just give it to Stewie. Give him the first 30 seconds because he is the guy who can go find something creative, finding a pick for you with that AWP, and it's just a different style, and it's very, very deadly.
Yeah, on the other side of things, and I do hate to do it, we've done it twice in a week now, where we do kind of point fingers at a player first. Twists, of course, a very uncharacteristic underperformance, knocked Liquid out. And the same could be said about one of their stars. He was part of our conversation at the very pre-match of this best of 3, and Kirby, I mean, the stats do not lie. I want to get the number right, 27 over 3 maps. I mean, that is, you know, you're not even averaging 10 per map.
Pimp, that's not great. It's actually 9 per map, Alex.
Not even 10.
I know, I'm just saying.
It's not good. It's definitely not good, and especially considering like the whole situation with Cabby. Obviously, you know the story about him leaving Astralis because he wanted some more space in order to unfold himself as a player. He needed some more or some other surroundings in order to feel comfortable, you know, being that star player he thought he could be. I'm not going to sit here and say Cabby can't be the star player, but you're right. You know, today was simply just not good enough, and I'm sure he knows that, and North knows that. That said, though, I think he's a guy, you know, who has the mental fortitude to fight back from that. So again, we can point fingers and we can say he was definitely part of the reason why that didn't win. But I would say North as a team was just outclassed here by MIBR. I do want to say, and I also want to point fingers at Valde for having a good tournament and having a great showing here. I think even today we didn't see much of him, but he was still the consistent best player for North on 2 of the maps, even though they lost big time on 2 of them. So kudos to him for being that rock solid player, and I think he's going to have a bright future, especially with the North guys, if we can get AC and Kirby running at the same time together.
Yeah, and that certainly has been a mission for some time now. Talking of Valde, features in our head-to-head, brought to you by Intel, and you can see how his performance compares. Despite what was a tough first and third for North, he manages to stay true to his average. And Fallen, nothing too much to write home about.
No, I was going to say, actually, for Valde, it's actually super impressive that you lose 2 maps in a blowout fashion, and you're still this close to your average statistics. As Pim said, he had a very, very good tournament, a very good day today as well. Fallen didn't need to do much today, which, I mean, well, I know we kind of highlighted him. I kind of highlighted him as someone who would have to kind of go big at the moment as they still find their foot. The good thing is, we pointed out Kirby with a bad performance. Stewie put together a complete series with these guys. He was right up there with Coldzera as the top 2 players on the team, and both of them over 50 kills in the series, and Stewie just had great impact across the board.
To me, that's a little bit worrying though for tomorrow, because I do believe that Fallen is the key for this MIBR lineup going up against a team like Astralis.
They'll need him tomorrow, yeah.
They need those center frags, they need those Ravok, that's caused by Fallen and those insane peaks. And Stewie 2K have had a rough time playing against Astralis. He's normally a dude that needs a little bit of space in order to, be good and play his style of Counter-Strike. So Fallen needs to step it up, and Stewie 2K needs to, not fall down to the level we saw him in the first best of 3 against Astralis.
Talking of Stewie, actually from Stewie 2K to Stewie 3K, we can take a little look at your X factor of the match. It was that North American AWPer / rifler / smoke genius. It has lost that title, and it's all the way back to Train. Remember this one?
Glaive didn't play in this game.
That's right. My goodness, the memes, they are but dreams. It was over on the pistol round. You can see Stewie. This was actually gorgeous. Wait till you see it in his perspective. It's just, it makes the Glock look like a USP.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very versatile player, and I mean, obviously, he's one of those guys that you can just feel with the way that he continues moving forward. It's like he plays like he's just checking to see if he's on fire at every single decision he makes. Like, let's just see if this headshot's gonna land.
Is this working? Oh, it is.
Yeah, that felt good. I'll go for another one. Go for a third.
That's just how it is. He's insanely good, right?
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing it tomorrow. Let's talk about it just briefly, guys, because we have started with 8. Top 4 from Europe, top 4 from North America. We end with 1 from Europe and 1 from North America.
The synergy is just magical, isn't it?
It's just perfect. Yeah, it all lines up. We get to see MIBR taking on Astralis.
I'm really excited for that in the context of what we saw at Blast Istanbul. That was a very good final to watch. It was all 3 maps and probably a series that MIBR looks back on, and that should have been our first major trophy that we had lifted up. Not major, but yes. Big tournament trophy. And then also in the series that was just earlier in this event, which was spectacular. Like those 2 series, if this one falls flat, it's going to be so sad. But this does feel like, of these little 3 series that they've had recently, this is like that deciding one, right? And especially in a grand final. Yeah,
we bring up the brackets and we can walk you through how we got there. In fact, Jacob, I'll give you the honors. We get to our grand final, and we had 2 interesting semi-finals today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, NIP can be really proud of the tournament they've had so far. I think they showed some great potential once again. Last time we saw them was at Blast Pro Series, where they also went into a final. So a semi-final performance and now a final performance at the Blast Pro. That's pretty good for NIP. It's been a while since we've seen consistently well-playing team from them. So in that regard, that's been good. I will say, though, that I think we have the 2 best teams in the final, without a doubt. We have Astralis, who's, constantly starting out slow, but getting better and better throughout the tournament. MIBR has started out like fire and then continued here in the semi-finals. So everything points towards a good final for tomorrow. And especially, as you said, Jason, I think Fallen, I think those old guys, they have a little bit of a horn in the side of Astralis. They want to show them who's the real bosses are, and that could be a fire matchup tomorrow.
It could be fire. And now to something else that's pretty hot. Black Friday deals. Selling like hotcakes they are. And you can go and get between 30 to 60% off on ECS and FACEIT merch if you head over to that magical link, shop.csgoleague.com.
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
Thank you very much.
That was very good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you want to finish? Do you want to say something important?
I was going to, but I'll save it for tomorrow. I'll save the gold. Save the gold for the final broadcast.
Put it in your pocket, because we will be back tomorrow. That is enough from us today, and we're going to continue ECS Season 6 Finals. It's been a long season, but we'll be crowning a champion here in the Arlington Esports Arena tomorrow. Don't miss it. We'll see you then.
Kiyoshima. Fabian. ¿Qué tal, mon ami, auf Wiedersehen?
Muy bien, muy bien.
See. So, you know why you're here? You're one of our suspects in the murder case that's currently going on. He's smiling. It's not funny, is it? Someone died. Anyway, how's everything going, firstly? Let's get to know each other. And so you live in the north of England, I see, in here.
Yeah. Going to US now, so we'll see.
And it hasn't put you on edge at all? You don't feel like you're running away from anything?
I'm not running away from anything. No worries about that.
Okay. What about here at the tournament then? Any key opponents, rivals?
I don't have any opponents really. It's like just
You don't
all
have
good.
any opponents?
It's all good with
Yeah, that's a
everyone.
lie.
It's all good with everyone. But the thing is, like, we come here and then just the objective is to pass the group stage. So, I mean, anyone can survive.
Do you feel you have a lot to prove? Ex-major winner, one of the best French players of all time, but sometimes known as the problem.
I think, yeah, I have a lot of...
Hey, let me just cut you off there, actually. Why did you get that name, the problem? Because you're a good player, you're a good person, you have a good heart, unless you have a dark side.
A dark side? I guess so. I don't know why they called me like that. Just maybe because I was too honest. I never really lost control. But, I mean, sometimes you do things and then you don't control it.
I think that's pretty much it, Fabian. Great to chat.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
You're gonna kill it out there, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna kill it.